Hello everyone and welcome to Homespun Handcrafts book pumpkins. So for this craft, the materials you're going to need are a piece of paper and a pencil. You're going to need some glue, some orange paint, a scissor, a paperback book, and I just have a piece of newspaper for when I'm using the glue and the paint so that it's I'm not getting it all over the place. And then you need a foam paintbrush. I have two here because I'm going to use one for the glue and one for the paint because there's not a source of running water right here. But you can 100% just use one brush and wash it out in between your two pieces of, between your paint and your glue. So first thing you're going to do is fold your piece of paper in half. Make sure it's about the size of your book. You don't want it to be bigger than your book because then when you draw your pumpkin on, it's going to be a mess. You're going to take your piece of paper and draw a rough pumpkin shape onto it. That's actually a little small. I want it to be bigger. So let's try that again. As you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of pumpkin-y. And then I'm going to take my scissor. And I'm going to cut out that shape. Actually, I'm going to cut down the middle. Actually, there's no reason to cut down the middle. Okay, so I have a rough pumpkin shape right there. And then what I'm going to do is take the cover off the book. And destroying a book feels kind of sacrilegious, but this one was sitting on our shelf of books that people have not been reading, so I don't feel too bad taking it. That page wanted to come out, so we'll take that out. Okay. So now what you're going to do is line your pumpkin shape up to the edge, and you want it to be roughly in the middle of your book. And then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to trace the pumpkin shape. You take your scissor, you're going through, you cut through like 4 or 5 sheets of paper at a time. And on the top end, cut it so that there's a little bit left because this is going to be our pumpkin stem up here. This side, you're going to cut it all the way into the edge, and then you can just rip that off. You might want to have a recycling bin next to you when you're doing this. I'm just making a pile of paper, but it would probably be more convenient to have a bin. And then actually, I'm just going to trace the shape on here. Okay, and then you can see pumpkin shape is on this page here. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut on the inside of the line And the reason I'm going to do that is because if I don't, the pumpkin is going to get fatter and fatter as we go through, which is not what we want happening. Again, leaving a little bit on that side for the stem. And actually you can see right here, I didn't cut that one page quite close enough. So you can see it's a little bit fatter. I'm going to leave that little, actually no, I'm not going to. The perfectionist in me is going to trim it so it's straight. Okay, there we go. It's still a little bit off, but there we go. Now it's straight. Do the other part, and again, I'm cutting on the inside of the line here. Rip those pages out. And we're just going to repeat that process until we've gotten through the entire book. And that one wanted to come off, so I'll take that off. And as you can see, I now have a pumpkin shaped book. I'm just going to trim this bit off the bottom here. Okay, there we go. And yeah, that stem is a good height. If you are not happy with your stem height, you can trim that off. And now what we're going to do is take this and spin it around, and we're going to put glue down the spine here. So let me just move all my paper to the side. Get this down so I'm not making a mess. Okay, so you're going to take your glue and your brush and you're just going to put a ton of glue down the spine of your book. And then you're going to curve it around. curve it around and press the spine together. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm going to brush the edges. Oops, that was not the right brush. I'm going to brush the edges of the pumpkin with orange, or the pumpkin part of the pumpkin, that is. And this step is completely optional. So if you want just a natural look on your pumpkin, you do not have to brush the paint on. Or if you want it to be orange but not quite as orange, you can water your paint down. What I'm going to do now is glue a couple of these pages together. So I'm just going to brush the inside of the pages with glue. And then I'm going to sandwich them together. And do the same thing on this one. And do the same thing down this spine right here. You're just gonna fluff it so that you just open up all the way around. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go back over and get a little bit more orange on these edges, even it out a bit. Just because some of them did not get orange on them. Refluff. Okay. And that is how you turn a book into a pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you back here next month for making a bowl out of buttons. Thanks.